Okay, now we're going to talk about section 4.2, just do some more examples. These are very similar to 4.1. So number 9, they want us to find the x and y intercepts of this equation. Oops, sorry about that. So that's pretty easy for us to do. We know that when we find the x-intercept, we'll put in parentheses y is equal to 0. So all we got to do is say everywhere we see y, put it equal to 0 and solve for x. 2x plus 5 times 0 is equal to 20. That of course goes to 0. We get 2x is equal to 20. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 10. So our point is going to be x equal to 10, y is equal to 0. For y-intercept, I'll put in parentheses, say x equal to 0. And this helps me. I recommend it's a good little tip to always do this, even though we know what we're doing. Always label what you're doing, because it'll help you out. Remember that when we're finding y-intercept, x equals 0. When we're finding x-intercept, y is equal to 0. So we just plug in 0 everywhere we see x. Oops, it's plus. That goes to 0. Divide both sides by 5. Y is equal to 4. So our point is going to be 0, comma 4. So we found our y-intercept and our x-intercept. Number 33 has asked us to graph this. So the best thing we can do is actually just do exactly what we just did. X-intercept. We know y is equal to 0. We know we're going to be looking for y-intercept. X is equal to 0. So x-intercept y is equal to 0. We can just do a little bit, say some writing. Put 0 in there, that's going to be 0, so we're going to 2x is equal to 12. Solve for x by dividing by 2. X is equal to 6. So one point is going to be 6, comma 0. Now if we find our y-intercept, we say x equal to 0, so put a 0 in there. We get negative 8, y is equal to 12. Divide both sides by negative 8. Y is equal to negative 3/2. So our point here is going to be 0, comma, negative 3/2. Now what the book also likes for you to do is to find one other point in here just to check your work. You can go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do that here just to save a little bit of time. So when we put our little tick marks here, we see that we need to go up to 6. So I'll make them a little bit smaller. 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 up there. 1, 3 down here. 1, 2, 3 that way. So negative or 6, 0 is this guy right here. 0, negative 3/2. This is 1. Negative 3/2 is negative 1/2. So that guy's right here. Now if we draw a line through there. There we go. There's our line. Let's go ahead and let's see what a point would be right here at x equals 2. But just for fun. At x equals 2. So if we plug 2 into this equation, we get 4 minus 8y is equal to 12. We subtract 4 from both sides. We see that y is going to equal negative 1. Sure enough, if we plot that point on there, x equals 2, y is equal to negative 1. So indeed, we did graph this correctly. Number 37, they ask us to graph this guy. Again, the same thing. We're just going to do y-intercept, x-intercept. You can do the third point to verify. So y-intercept, x equal to 0. we're going to get y is equal to 0. So our point here is going to be 0, comma 0. For x-intercept, we set y is equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 right there is going to be 3x equal to 0, negative 3x equal to 0. Divide both sides by negative 3, we get x equal to 0. So again, we get 0, 0. We can't plot with these 2 points because they're the same point, so we got to choose one other point. I'm going to go ahead and choose y is equal to 3, just because I'm a little experienced and I can see how it's going to help us. So I'm going to say y is equal to 3. So we set y equal to 3, we get 3 minus 3x is equal to 0. Move the negative 3x over, so we get 3 is equal to 3x. Divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 1. So now we have the point x is equal to 1, y is equal to 3. That's enough for us to plot. We've got 2 points. If we see the highest we go to is 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So negative or 0, 0 is right at the origin. 1, 3, 1 in the x, 3 in the y up here. So our ball would roll to the left. Of course, we can find any of the other points to put on there as well. Graph this guy, x plus 1 is equal to 0. So we see we don't have a y in here, so what we should try to do is try to get x all by itself. If we subtract 1 from both sides, we see x equal to negative 1. Well, what is negative 1? Remember from our slides, we have x is equal to a number. We have x equal to negative 1. X equal to negative 1 right here. This is negative. This is our x-axis. This is our y. X equal to 1 is right here, negative 1. And it's going to always equal to negative 1. So what we got here is a vertical line at x equals negative 1. And just remember our x-intercept is going to be x equal negative 1. Okay. Down here, graph 3y is equal to 9. Again, we should notice we don't have an x. So what we should do right away is just divide by 3 on both sides. Y is equal to 3. Remember from our lecture, anytime we have y is equal to a number, means a horizontal line. That's 2, 3. Here's our positive x, here's our positive y. Well, y is equal to 3 at every one of these points over here. So we end up drawing a horizontal line right there that crosses the y-intercept at y is equal to 3. So there is our graph for these two problems. Don't know, I think we are done. So have a good week, and see you online.